Good morning. How are all of you guys? Thank you so much for your patience. Let me get this open. Come on. We can do it. Who do we have here? Good morning, Kitty and Pen and Fran. And who else did I see in there? Unless my eyes are deceiving me. Good morning. Good morning. My apologies for my lateness. Let me go on here and open this up. Come on, so I can see you guys. Good morning, good morning. Who do we have here? Colette, good morning. Let's see, Michelle and Jill and Sandy. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. How are all of you guys? Super happy to have you guys here. Thank you so much for your patience. I am here in the flesh. Good morning. Who do we have here? Erin and Casey. Good morning. Okay, thank you for being here. Am I straighten? Hold on. There we go. Yes? Okay. Perfect. Let's see. Hi, Angel. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Hi, Kimberly. Welcome in. So, the point of Monday when we are here is to recap the week to get us started for the week and to get us situated with our projects and everything, and to hopefully reach out to people near and far. So, yes, thank you guys so much for being here. A little bit of a slow start, but we're here. So you guys should know at this point that I am a part of Knit November, and I recorded day 2 late last night, and so before I went to sleep, I redid my work. So here is my work redone. And so this here is the Finally Fall Knit Shawl from Fiberflux Knitting Video Tutorial. And so I redid my work, and I'm really happy with my work so far. And I didn't mention the yarn that I used in the clip. I was afraid of running out of time. So the yarn that I'm using is this Lion Brand Mandala, and the colorway is called Ghidorah, I think. So she suggested in the tutorial to use US number 85.0 needles. I went one size larger than that just because I wanted that extra drip, and I'm really glad that I did that because I really enjoy looking at the way that actually fell. I had to redo it because one of my windows came out really weird, and then at the very beginning, something was really off about that. So I went ahead and redid it. Very happy that I did that. So the needles, it's 24 inches, number 9s. Very happy with that. So I'm going to continue working on that, and then later on today I'll record day number 3's progress. So very happy with the way that turned out. And as far as the hat, I put it down literally after I started recording, but all I have left to do are the decreases for the top part, and then the bottom part I have to do my ribbing. But yeah, I should have this done today, so we'll see. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, thank you. This is the pack that the DPNs came in. Let's see here. We're here. So, yes. So this is Gu DPNs. Yep. And the circulars that I used for the bottom part of the hat are Gu red lace circulars. So in one of the videos, I mentioned that these are fixed, but then afterwards, upon closer inspection, these are interchangeables. So these were pulled from my set. I have a pair fixed in this size, just like this. So, yeah. Anyway, that is my work. And the yarn that I'm using for my hat is Loops and Threads Charisma. And the color here is Barbados Cherry. So it's a deeper red, but not like a burgundy. Slightly brighter than a burgundy. Yeah, slightly brighter than a burgundy, but darker than a bright red, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, the deeper reds are really nice. Yeah. Anyway, I have a few of these. So hopefully I won't need these for the hat. That is the hope, because what I would like to do is I would like to finish this hat, and then, well, I want to finish the hat using this yarn. Hopefully there's enough to do that, because I would like to take these next two and I'd like to make a matching scarf. Now, I mentioned I was going to do a 2x2 rib for the brim. Maybe for the scarf on either end, I can do like a ribbing, you know, for the beginning and the end. So we'll see. I have all month to do it. It's for Knit November. So, yeah. And of course I have the two other whips. So I have the triangle wrap and a triangle wrap and then an asymmetrical. So let's see. Okay, good. Glad that you guys are here. I have to check the chat because for some reason I have you guys on the other side. It's over here and I don't want to miss any questions. Let's see. Good morning, Juan. Everyone from Dublin, Ireland. Have a lovely day. Congratulations, Juan, on reaching your milestone. So happy for you. You deserve it all for your hard work. Thank you so much, Brenda. I appreciate it. We did climb one more up since yesterday. We are at 103, I believe. Let me see. Are we at 103? Yes, we are at 103. Very, very excited about that. Very, very nice. And so hopefully the goal is to not have my hat look like this with this point. So I learned, don't decrease until your very last stitch. Leave some stitches at the top so you can gather that and flatten it. So lesson learned, you know. So that's fine. So goals for the week. Okay, so let me go to my page here. Okay. So I have to finish my hat. Obviously, that's one of the goals. I have to finish my hat. And then Taco Tuesday is obviously tomorrow because today is Monday. So hat, and then Taco Tuesday. How many of you guys have anything done for Taco Tuesday so far? Anybody have anything for Taco Tuesday? Very curious, because I have this many. So I have to get on the ball today. I can't go to week 1 of season 4 empty-handed from repeats week. I have to finish some. Actually, I do have, what am I saying, goose egg? Pick a whip, finish it by the next Taco Tuesday. I do have that one. So there's, I guess, one. I have one done so far. 2 whips and 1 gift. I love that. You have 4 of 5 done, Kitty. That's amazing. Crochet Jojo has 2 done. Kim has 0. Let's see. Okay. Thank goodness. Oh, no, don't feel bad. It's fine. The one that I can say that I've done is pick a whip and have it done by the next Taco Tuesday. But the actual challenges, I don't have done. Just to recap, I'm going to tell you guys and myself as a reminder what those challenges are. It's always good to remind ourselves, right? So let me go ahead and remind us what those challenges are. And okay, those challenges are as follows. Pick a whip, any whip, have it done by the next Taco Tuesday. Check, done. Number 1, variegated yarn challenge. Create and make using variegated yarn. Any and all colors are welcome. Number 2, seasonal holiday hat and scarf set challenge. Create a hat and scarf set featuring colors represented by the season or holiday of your choice, which is really good. The third one, vintage makes challenge. Create a vintage make, any color, any size. Number 4, gift challenge. Create and make a gift to someone. Create a make and gift to someone. Yep. So not too bad. So variegated yarn, and then seasonal hat, scarf. This is a really great opportunity for me to, if I decide to do that, that's a really good opportunity for me to sit here with the camera, and I could potentially design something on the fly and make a tutorial for it. That's a really great opportunity. So we'll see if I have the time to do that. Vintage hat and scarf, and then gift. Okay, not impossible, totally doable, I think, you know? So let me go back to the live stream. Perfect. Okay. I'm writing my own notes to recap for myself. Okay, so Taco Tuesday, got to finish the hat, and then my knit whips, I need to work on that for ACS, the American Cancer Society. So a lot of you guys know I partnered up with them for Knit November. So I'm making sure to mention them every single day. And if anything, if you could, the biggest support that you could provide me is to just watch those little clips. They're not even 2 minutes long when I make them. So yeah, very, very nice. There we go, finally. Okay. Let's see, the scarf is a killer for me to get it done in a week along with other things. Well, there's 2 different ways to make a scarf, right? You can go back and forth on the short side, or you can go long ways but only have several rows and then you're finished. So let's see. Let's see. Just taking a quick look. Do you prefer wood or metal points? So Colette says, "One, I see you have projects in knits. Do you prefer wood or metal points?" So at this point, I do have some favorites in terms of like what I prefer, but it also depends on the fiber. So when I'm working with wool and acrylic, I prefer metal. Yep. These ones specifically, Chagu red lace. However, when I'm working with cotton, with cotton or cotton blend, I prefer wooden. So this is acrylic, and I have wooden. I got to tell you, not my go-to with acrylic and wool. Just preference. I at this point in my journey, I don't need the roughness to hold on to my stitches. I kind of have a nice grasp on my stitches, so I'm not afraid of them falling off. At this point, a lot of people go to the wool to make sure that, you know, things don't fall off and all that. So yeah, I'm okay with metal DPNs, but I prefer wood for cotton. Okay, so yeah, very, very nice. Let me take a quick look, 1 second. Let's see. Okay, very nice. I was trying to see if I have metal DPNs here, but do I? No, I don't. I wanted to show you guys metal DPNs for those who are not familiar. So yeah, in total, like I try to keep 3 knit whips, you know, at all times, and I have 4 right now, right? So I need to get this hat done so I can go back down to 3 or less. I don't want my knit whips to get out of hand like my crochet does. My crochet can be, you know, crazy, but you know, that's okay because 90% of my content is crochet. So I kind of need to have all of those crochet whips because it gives me plenty of content to talk about. You know, I can bounce around between things and kind of, you know, dig in and all. So let's see. I looked up and found a vintage metal DPN set at the thrift store. Super, super nice. Metal knitting needles for me. Xiaogu is my favorite. Yes, same. Xiaogu red lace. Interchangeable or fixed. I'm totally okay with it. But here's the thing. Like, I'm not really well versed in knitting enough to say, you know, that I'm comfortable taking my content beyond the 10%, you know? So I feel like in terms of how I'm weighing out my content, and for me, my workload, I want to keep it like 85-15-ish, if that makes any sense. So once I learn more, I'll feel confident enough to introduce more and talk about it a little more. But for now, that's kind of where I'm leaving it. I'm going to leave it set right there, you know? Hi, Val. Welcome in. Crystal says, I can barely focus on one whip at a time. Well, you know, the great thing about you guys, you know, you have that luxury. Can you imagine? Imagine this with me. So I'm a channel on YouTube. People tune in to watch me, and I only have one whip. I mean, if I only had one whip, there's only so many things about that whip that I could talk about. It wouldn't be very exciting to come in and watch. But if I had, like, that's kind of why I have to have different things. So I have different things that I can pull and talk about, you know, content. I'm looking forward to getting this done this week. Fingers crossed I can get this done. So I have to do my repeats until I get this to 40 inches. I did not measure this, but as luck would have it, I do have a measuring tape. So let's just measure this very quickly and see how far off the beaten path we are. Let's see here. 28 inches. So I have another foot to add to this. So I just have to get this to 40 inches if I'm doing 40 inches by 40 inches square. The goal is to repeat the back and forth with double crochet, but not repeat any colors. So that's the goal here. I'm going to pluck from stash, and all the yarn here is Loops and Threads Soft Classic, which is kind of what I have behind me. I have Red Heart behind me as well, but Loops and Threads Soft Classic is part of the mix here. So all double crochets. Sometimes, and I mentioned this before, you guys know this, sometimes simple is really, really nice, you know? So, yeah. Simplicity at its best. And then, of course, I have my squares I need to work on this week. I've shown this before, and some of you guys reached out and said, hey, Juan, those squares are so inspiring. So I have a process with my squares. So for those of you guys who are interested in making granny squares like this, where you're changing colors every round, there is a process on how you're able to create a bunch of squares without repeating any squares in terms of like the sequence of colors. I'll talk to that in just a second. Let me pull some more of these out and show you. So just show you some of these, maybe without the micro fringe. So I am using a 5.5 US letter I crochet hook for these. Here we go. Gorgeous colorways, really nice. No two squares have the same exact color sequence. I use a lot of the same colors, but there's a way that I repeat these, which I'm about to tell you how I do it. Very, very nice. There we go. I like this one a lot. Red, purple, yellow, and white. Then we have some of these. It's going to look 100% better once I have the micro fringe off. But micro fringe and all is included. So with all of the squares, I have to add 1 round of black. So I have a bunch more. Anyway, the way that I do this is I grab all of my scrap balls of yarn, okay? I collect them, get them into one bag, okay? So pretend, if you will, that this bag right here is all scraps. It's not scraps, but pretend with me that these are scraps. So I will pull 4 different colors out of this bag. Any 4 colors, okay? Let's just say those are the 4 colors. So what I will do is I will make my first set of granny squares. Like I will sit these in a row, like this. I'll start from the center, and each round I will change colors. So this is square number 1. And then what I'll do for 4 squares is I will take the first one and slide it to the back. Make my second square. And then I will do this like this. My third square. My fourth square. And now we are back at square 1, right? So now at this point, I will take one of these, put it away. I'm done with it for right now. And I will grab yet another color. I'll dig into the bag and find another color. And let's just say, I don't have any other color in here. I don't know. Here we go. Here's the next color. So now I repeat that sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I will continue to move everything down, and I'll do 4 squares. Here's another set of 4, and then I will remove this, bring in another color. 4 squares, I'll repeat that process, and that's how I do it. So if you're wanting to do this in the way that I'm doing it, it's going to prevent you from having any duplicates of the same exact squares if you're interested in that. Okay? So that's my method. If you like having duplicates, by all means, do it the way you see fit. But if you have a system for it and you tell yourself, okay, well, I'm done with that color, put that used color that you're removing from your sequence into another bag, because you're telling yourself that that yarn has been used 4 times now for 4 squares. You're done with it, you know. And then as you run out of colors, you know, grab other colors. And then once you grab a brand new color, all of those old colors can come back and now be used again, because you've got a brand new color into the mix, you know. So you can make tons and tons and tons of squares that way. So if that helps you guys at all, come on, computer, it fell asleep. It fell asleep. You have 74 of those, plus from the family knit line, those are just solid colors. Okay, yeah. Very, very nice. So again, many different ways. You can include variegated yarn in the mix if that's your choice. I thought about doing it that way. I can technically do an entire blanket of vintage variegated yarn, just flipping it out in that fashion, but I've already started with solids for this one, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish this in solids. I may actually introduce that in the future, so stay tuned. Future project do the vintage granny motifs, but, you know, variegated yarn. Just rounds and rounds and rounds of random colors, repeating that process until I have the squares that I need. So for those who are interested, if you're using a 5.5 millimeter US letter I crochet hook to make your squares, 5 rounds is 5 inches. And to make a queen size blanket, according to the measurements of what the internet is calling a queen size blanket, it's 325 squares. I had a card here with the actual placement of all my blocks, but I do know it's 325 squared. So, yes, a variegated yarn blanket. Yep. So, you know, believe it or not, people were like, is that going to make sense? Remember, I made a stained glass blanket, and a lot of people were like, Juan, that actually looks really good. I didn't think that would look that nice. But yeah, do I have it nearby? Do I have it nearby? Let me see. No, I don't. Nope, it's not nearby that I can show you, but if you've seen it, if you look in older podcast videos, actually the latest one, I show it as a finished object. Really, really nice. The luxury of having an iPad. The luxury of having an iPad at close bay here. Perhaps I have it as a picture, which I do. This was when it was a whip. So, yep, variegated yarn in the round. We call that the stained glass blanket just because it kind of reminds you of a stained glass. Really, really nice. So if you took all of your variegated colors and ran them in little squares like that, and maybe did a black border for each square, maybe you have a different kind of a stained glass blanket, you know? So stay tuned for that. A lot of unexpected things can happen when you use your colors in unexpected ways. Food for thought. So, yeah. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. All right, so recap for the week. Obviously, I have projects that need to be done. Taco Tuesday. Today's content outside of this, we have a pretty busy day. Monday has actually turned out to be a very busy day for me. So I start with this, and then I record content for the channel for the day. On Mondays, I record Whipping It with Juan. So I become your crochet buddy, where I'll sit here, I'll crochet, I'll talk to you guys about all the things. And then it's members only Mondays. So we have a members only live today. And then also, after all of that, I'm going to come on tonight on panel. Yes, I'm going to come on to StreamYard. It's been such a long time since I've done that. But I'm hosting 2 buddies. I'm going to have them on panel with me, and we're going to stitch and chat tonight. So if you're interested, please feel free to come and hang out with me and us. Very, very nice. And thank you, Kim. You're keeping us all updated. So yeah, Kim's got the times, and I've preloaded those live streams so you can see them on my channel. Just make sure that your notifications are turned on if you're interested in coming to hang out with us. So, and at some point, I'm going to be taking a nap, because part of the reason why I'm late today is because I only slept, I think it was an hour and a half. So, yeah. 1.5 hours of sleep. I stayed up because I wanted to make sure that my knit whips were in order and my projects for the channel had some movement on those. So we're good. Let's see here. And I know that a lot of you guys are in different time zones, but the replay will always be there for you guys to enjoy. Okay. So just out of curiosity, I just want to know from those watching from afar. As you know, I am in the US of A in Delaware, and I have a lot of viewers that are watching me right now from afar. Just out of curiosity, Not the time-wise, but the day of the week. What's the best day of the week to meet you guys? I'm very curious because I did a poll. We did all the things. I even tried other days. And for some reason, something is telling me Monday is probably the best day to do this. But I want to dedicate a day for you guys. Is Monday the day? Is there another day, right? Thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciate that. Let's see. Is today the day? Is today a good day to do this? Or is there another day that works best for everyone? Send off in the comments and let me know. I know I'm probably going to get every single day of the week because, you know, you can't please everybody. But if there's a common denominator, like if Monday's not the day, what day is it? You know? 3:43 a.m. for me. I'm wide awake. I love that, Kimberly. You sound like me, you know? I literally said that to myself today, as a matter of fact. I'm like, oh, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm wide awake. Am I going to be able to take a very quick shut-eye nap and be ready for this live? And to be perfectly honest with you, you know, I had an alarm set. It happens, you know? Any day is good? Okay. I love that. You guys are so great. Oh, yeah, come on, Juan, you know? Come on when you come on. We'll catch you. Very, very nice. Today's... Okay. Yes, you're absolutely right. I agree. Thank you guys so much for your kind words. Oh, by the way, I don't forget to check the Sunday Live. Please check the Sunday Live, this past one, because that in that video we're doing the share yarns and we have the patterns. I would encourage you guys who are not members to try at least for the patterns. You know, I have a really cool pattern that I'm gifting. If you didn't catch it, let me show you what it looks like. I'm scrolling. I think I showed the pattern yesterday on the live. I guess I'll show you that instead. Here it is. So 3 lucky people will receive that pattern. It's called my Nova. It's called It's called Nova Crest. The Nova Crest Star Blanket. There you go. That's the name of the pattern. Really, really nice. And the colors and everything that I chose, I made it donation size for Camp Boggy Creek. So I made it children's size. So the way that you're seeing this right now with the white center and the 3 colors, that itself will take you to 41 inches. So if you're looking to make this larger, by all means, continue going with the repeat. But for donations, it's literally just the 3 colors after the white. So I thought, you know what, let me tell you guys that, because, you know, you may want to make this for another charity of your choice, you know, and if their size requirement takes you to 40 inches, well, the center plus 3 repeats will take you there. All right. So yeah, for a lot of you guys, this was a members only pattern. It came out one of the months, not last month, but the month before, I think. Don't quote me. It was one of the patterns. And so I know a lot of people are working it up. So yes. Thank you. 13 points. And I have had some requests from the members and subscribers. They want me to do another star blanket in the future, but different amount of points and perhaps a different stitch medley. So if I'm going to reintroduce another star blanket pattern, obviously it's going to have both of those things. So it's going to have a different stitch cadence to it and also a different amount of stars, or star points rather, sorry. And for those of you guys who are also interested in that whole chevron situation, I do have in my Ravelry a shawl. It's called the Guiding Points of Light shawl. And it looks really, really nice. It's a choice. It's a choice because, you know, the colors that I created it in are yellow. It's not letting me pick it up. Hold on. There we go.
Here's what I found.
No. Did I save it? Let's see. Guiding points of light. Maybe? Yes, I did save it. Okay. I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. It's uploading. Here you go. For those of you guys who haven't seen this, this is available on my Ravelry. The guiding points of lights. And the way that this sits is like that. It's very drapey. It hangs off your shoulder, so, you know, it flows. It's very boho. There's a lot of give to it, lots of wave. Super, super nice. And here is what this looks like in another color. If you want to do it in purple instead. So tons of options there in terms of like color choice and all that. So again, I have that pattern on my Ravelry. This was also one of the patterns in the past months and months ago. So yes. The guiding points of light pattern has also been used as the pattern to make a tree skirt because it does go full 360 degrees. Just imagine that slit. There's a cutout. But if you take both ends, you can literally piece it like this and it's a whole circle. It's really, really nice. So, yeah. Let's see. Very, very nice.
I found this on the web.
I think Siri's listening to me. That's too funny. Yes, my name is the same on Ravelry, and I have a bunch of free patterns. So if you want to try out my patterns first to see if you like them, I always encourage you guys. Check out my Ravelry, download some of the free patterns, you know, choose one to work. And if you like the way my verbiage flows as you work your projects, then I am your person. Go back and grab all the things. So I have this hat pattern called Crown of Courage. So I made this in honor of Cancer Awareness Month. So pink, Cancer Awareness Month. I also have this here, which is a free pattern. It's called my Fifi blanket. If you're interested in it, sorry about that. But yes, Fifi blanket. Fast, easy, fun, exciting. Super nice. I have some patterns here printed out and ready to roll to show you guys. I have the Canyon Drift poncho as one of my patterns, if you want to check that out. It comes fully equipped with selfies to show you what it looks like up close and personal, if you're interested. Very, very nice. I love showcasing my patterns. It's so much fun. It's fun to write them up. It's fun to design them, and it's fun to show them off and to talk about them. So the poncho is a great pattern. Thank you, Kathy. Very nice. Thank you, Hanny. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yes. So again, I encourage you to try out some of my freebie patterns. And if you like the way my verbiage flows, if you feel like you can handle like how I'm explaining everything in the patterns, then by all means, go check out some of the things. I had some people go in very unexpectedly, try one, and then they got so excited because they were actually finally able to read my patterns, or read a pattern generally speaking, and then they went ahead and got all the things. So very, very nice. So thank you guys so much for your support, because some person, I can't really say their name, but they went in and bought one of every single one of my patterns. I was so blown away yesterday when I saw that. I'm like, no one's ever gone in there and selected all of my patterns. And listen, I'm not saying you should, but only do that if you're comfortable with my patterns, you know, because as much as I read patterns, I always try one first. Like I try one, I make sure that I'm able to understand their work because we all have different ways of reading the patterns. We don't all write them the same. So, I hope I don't disappoint, So I encourage you, and I think that's the right thing to do. Grab a freebie pattern first, check it out, see if that's to your liking, and then go from there. So, very, very nice. Excuse me. Yes, thank you so much for reminding me. A lot of the patterns that you see in there, I have tutorials for. So maybe go into my patterns in my Ravelry and you can kind of match, And a lot of my patterns you will see, let me see. At the bottom of the pattern, you will see this right next to it. So if you're shopping my patterns, you will see this right here. It says video tutorial available on YouTube at Juan the Yarn Addict. So I will have matching tutorials for the written patterns, and the way that my patterns are written, it's written to follow the video step by step, and that's kind of why I explain everything the way that I do in my tutorials. Like I break it down, so from here we do this, from here we do that, and so as I'm explaining it to you, it's being broken down in these steps. So the video follows the tutorials, so you won't get lost. Very, very nice. So, yeah. And that's a really great, that's really great too, Naomi. Like when you don't have the tutorial accessible, some of us take our whips to work and we can't really watch the video in the lunchroom or wherever we're having our lunch at. But it's really nice to have that paper there to refer to, and you can write your own little notes on the paper to remind yourself where you're at, what you need to do to make any modifications that make sense to you, so very nice to have that written pattern as well. Thank you so much, Naomi. I appreciate that. I try, I do have a magical pattern unicorn that I work with. So that's really nice too. And it takes a lot of the stress off of me. So like, even when I write it, my magical pattern unicorn will go in and be like, okay, to simplify it and break it down for everybody. So it's really nice. Yes, thank you so much, Michelle, for reminding everybody that we have thummies. Please hit those thummies to let the algorithm know that you like this, we let the algorithm know that this is a good thing, and then we continue doing these things on the days that we're having them. I would really appreciate that, right? So good. Thank you, Kimberly, for the thummy. I appreciate that. So good. Hi, Steven. You also print 2 of each of the patterns. One is to carry with the project and to take notes on, and the other stays in a book by creator. I love that. There's a few of you guys out there that have told me that you guys have a collection of my patterns and you keep them all together. I know some people who put them in page protectors and then in a binder, and then some people just put them in their own little like pocket folder. I think that's amazing. I need to get myself some ink and do that myself. So I have my black ink. I need color. So I'm working on that. So once I have my color ink back in stock, I'm going to do that for myself to just have my own little collection that I can thumb through and show you guys all the patterns, like a show and tell, One of these Sundays, I may actually go ahead and do like a show and tell of my and all to show you my work. That's a really good idea. I need to be writing this down. I need to be writing this down, on the fly ideas, right? Look at me go. Look at me. The wheels are turning. Not doing too bad for having absolutely no coffee yet. Very, very nice. My goodness gracious. And then I do have page protectors. I'll have them all glossified and everything. I could just go and flip through all the things. Yes, you wait and see. I've got all the things. So, Kim's got you come right on the fly. So I have to tell you guys that I I have a knit whip that I have yet to start. It's in the other room. Crap. Anyway, I'm working with a local yarn dyer, and the yarn dyer is, the company is called Create Yarn Works. I'm really excited about this because fingers crossed I'm able to execute a line of yarns dedicated to my channel. So I have we're talking about a specific colorway in my name with my favorite colors. We also have yarn coming out with my mom, like in honor of my mom. So my mom's favorite color is blue, so we have blues coming out. We've got purple and red coming out, combinations of the two, and then some tonals. So if all goes well, I'll be able to introduce some yarn to you guys in my name. So I'm very excited about that. So I'll come better prepared and I'll actually show you the yarn. I've shown it once already. It's called I Want to Be a Cowboy. It's really nice denim blue and like tree trunk brown. It's really good. I wish I had it here to show you guys. And it looks amazing hanked up. Anyway, it's not here. I won't go on about it, but stay tuned. I have yarn in my name coming. Very excited about that. Yes. And it's to celebrate my 100K, which I'm waiting for my silver play to come. I have other things in play at the moment because, again, guys, I didn't plan to hit my 100K until the new year. So I had already ordered things for a celebration that obviously takes time to get here. And so fingers crossed, it comes sooner than later, but, it happened a lot sooner than I'd anticipated. Had I known we were going to progress so quickly, I would have ordered all of the things a lot earlier, and I would have reached out to the yarn dyer a lot earlier, but as it is, here we are. So I don't know what the number will be by the time I have my celebration, but, we will have something. I don't know what, but we're going to do a little something. So I'm very excited about that. Let's see. Have you ever tried intarsia crochet or tapestry? So intarsia, okay, I've tried it. I have a pattern that I had purchased from Sweet Potato, and that was the Cat's Meow. If you guys are familiar, let me show you. It's really nice to have all of my files right here. Let's see. It may be in my file. Yeah, I don't have it on this one. But yes, I do have intarsia. I have not introduced it onto the channel, if that's your question. No. I haven't done anything like that yet because I want to introduce mosaic crochet first before I do intarsia. So, yes. It's wonderful seeing your plaque on your wall. Well deserved. See, that's the thing. Where am I putting it? This is how I'm seeing all the time. And do I stand it up on the counter here and replace my glass one or my plastic one? So early on, after 5,000 subscribers, this was gifted to me by a viewer. So I may replace this with my silver play button and just leave it as a stand instead of hanging on the wall. Or I may actually go on Etsy and order me a new updated version of this where it says Juan the Yarn Addict. Because back then, fun fact, when I was a very, very itty bitty channel, my name changed 3 times. Did you guys know that? Little fun fact. When I first started my channel, this is a really good trivia question. Who remembers the initial name of my channel when I pressed my play button? When I pressed this, the very first video, what was the name of my channel? Anybody know? Anybody? I'm sure someone out there knows the name of my channel. What was the name of my channel back then? 2 years ago when I first started. Well, Kim knows. The wrenches know. Anyone who is not a wrench. Or former wrenches. Because I'm going to follow that up with a question. I think there's a lot to be said about a name. Okay, we have people that know, so I'll go ahead and tell you. So it was called Hooked Creations by Juan Ramon, and I don't really think it had it didn't catch it. Like for me, it didn't really pop, and I knew that going in, but I'm like, I didn't know what to call myself. So Hooked Creations by Juan Ramon. Juan Ramon is my name, by the way, guys. Juan Ramon. Juan Ramon. Okay. And Hook Creations by Juan Ramon. And so I'm like, I don't know if I want that to be my name. Like my channel name. I don't know. So a few days in, I'm still not at ease. I had just pressed the play button. It was September 19th when I did the button. I want to say by the 21st or 22nd, maybe the 25th. I'm like, I need to change this. I don't really like the name. And Lacey, she's my very first subscriber. I was at work when this all happened, by the way. I pressed my play button. I started my account at work. And so anyway, Lacey is her name. She was one of my employees who assisted me with getting it started. And she was like, you're a whole entire yarn addict. Like, you know, I don't do the crochet or the knitting, but you are insane with this yarn. Every time you come into work, you're talking about yarn and you're talking about building this wall and your tubs and your totes. And, you know, you talk to me as if I do it every day with you. You're a bit of a yarn addict. That's what she said to me. And so I'm like, well, that's true. I am a yarn addict and I'm very proud of it. And she was like, well, why don't you name your channel that? Because you're a yarn addict. So that's the story behind that. So I came home and I changed my channel name to Yarn Addict. It made sense, and then it took traction from there. Shortly after, I want to say about a month or so, a month, maybe 2 months after that, I realized it was too vague. I was looking on YouTube and there were so many different yarn addicts. You had Karen the Yarn Addict, you had this the Yarn Addict, Tom and Harry and all the thing Yarn Addict. And I'm like, my name is, there was a channel out there called The Yarn Addict. And so I said, I can't keep my channel name this name because at the time I only had maybe 100 subscribers and there was a channel out there with 13,000 subscribers called The Yarn Addict. So I'm like, well, I got to do something different. What am I going to do? And I went back to Lacey, my employee, and I said, Lacey, what am I going to do? Like, this isn't going to work. And so Lacey says, call it Juan the Yarn Addict. I don't know. That's exactly how she said it to me. She's like, call yourself Juan the Yarn Addict. I don't know. Just like that. And I'm like, okay. I went in and I changed it Juan the Yarn Addict, and the rest is history. And it's been that way ever since. Very happy, like off the cuff. Very, very nice. Let's see. So Denisha, you subbed when I was Hooked Creations. Love that. Zeta, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what's going on. Let's see. Does she get a commission on your channel? Right. And she's still listed there. When I go into the studio and I click subscribers, and then I click subscribers and then I can click time on channel, she's the very first one. Yep, she's the very first one. I mean, she's always going to be the first one because I was actually at work when I did this. I wasn't in the studio. Like, the first video came that night. So by the time I came home to record my first video, I had a few subscribers, and those few people were actually employees of mine. The 3 employees that are my first 3 subscribers, they're no longer employees of mine. So, but they're still subscribed to the channel, which is really nice. So, yes, thank you so much, Knit Geek Girl. Sorry, that was almost a tongue twister. I like that. Super nice. Yeah, and to parlay off of Michelle's comment, she just mentioned that I have a dedicated follower group. You know, I'm very thankful for that. You know, I'm thankful that there are people that will tune in and listen to me and talk about all the things and the weird giggles and all the things. I'm very thankful for that, and I don't take that for granted, guys. Just want you guys to know that. I'm very thankful that I do have people who watch me. So you guys are so appreciated. More than you know. Trust me. With all the things that I'm going on, that I'm dealing with at home, with being a caretaker with mom, working the day job, and doing the channel, knowing that there are people that I can come to and I can record for, no matter what day of the week it is, I know there will be people that watch. Doesn't matter how many, I just know there will be someone watching. It makes it all worth it. You know, it's a great feeling. When I first started my channel, guys, I was like, I don't know if anyone's going to want to watch this. And it was my employees who said to me, Juan, when you go home to record that video, do it for you. Do it with the expectation that no one but you will be watching. Because if you are the only one that is watching, at least you won't feel defeated and you won't feel like you've disappointed anyone. Just go in and do it as if you're doing it for you. And obviously I've grown since then, so now I go on with the anticipation and expectation that there are people who are interested in what I have to say. They want to listen to my point of view, my opinions, and my takeaways from different things within the fiber community and what it is that we do here. So because of that, it's that fire that just amplifies me, and I just want to continue doing that. So again, I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much for that. I also have a fun personality. It helps so much for people like me who need a pleasant place to go to relax. I love that. For you and for me and for us. It's so good. I love it. It's great. So thank you, Kitty. I appreciate that. Kitty says, Juan, you were such an inspiration. You know, sometimes I get so surprised by those comments because, you know, I take the advice that is given to me. So many people, so many of you guys reach out to me and you guys are like, Juan, just always remember to do you. Be yourself, you know, do things how you do them and we will watch. And that's what I do. I come on, I just do the things how I want to do them and let the pieces fall where they may. And a lot of you guys are like, yes. Can I have some more, please? You know, it's very that. And I'm like, yes. So it works. You know, you guys are telling me to do the things how I would do them, and I am, and it works. And I love that. So, yes. Thank you, Denisha. I appreciate that. Being you is what makes you an original. Yes. And hello to you, Cherry. Hello, hello. By the way, a little bit of a fun fact. I didn't mention this, but this hat that I'm making, it's the third one of its kind. Except this one's going to be slightly different. I forgot to mention this. So this hat here with the weird point at the top, it does flatten out. Well, I guess it doesn't, does it? It's okay. You can't see it if I'm like this. So there's that. And then we've got this one. I made this one a little thicker. And then this one here is going to be, except this is going to have a knit brim. I don't know why I felt the need to tell you that. I was looking at it. I'm like, I squirreled. Sorry, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Very nice. Very kind of you, Denisha. What did I miss? What did I miss? Let's see. Hello, Gail. Welcome in. All right. How many of you guys have worked the Nana June blanket? That's also a pattern on my Ravelry. I believe it is a freebie pattern too. For those of you guys who are interested, it is a beautiful 6-round repeat blanket that I have in purple. How many of you guys have seen that? Very nice go-to pattern, guys. It has a really nice cadence to it. 2 rounds of this, 2 rounds of this, 2 rounds of this, and then back to the beginning. Very fast, fun, and easy. Not as easy as Fifi, but very easy nonetheless. Nana June. I'm checking my catalog here. I should have it. There it is. Nana June's Blessing Blanket. This is a freebie on my Ravelry. Let me blow this up so you can see. Very, very nice. I used the gradient yarn in purple for that. It looks so, so nice. please check that out if you're interested in a blanket pattern. It's a great go-to pattern. Okay. You have a question? Why? Let's see. Why didn't you do the ribbing on the hat first instead of coming back to it? Because that's a very good question. So when I started this, I started this for myself, not for knit for November. So the way I've been doing this is I knit my hat and then I crochet my brim. I turn it around and then I put the crochet hook to it. This actually happened before November 1st. And so I said, well, November 1st, American Cancer Society, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, here's my first project. Let's roll this over. It was already too late. So I wanted to crochet my brim, but because it's cancer for ACS, I have to knit this brim. So normally I would just knit the brim first and then work it up. But yeah, I'm going back to re-knit, so to speak. It is what it is. I made it in 5 days, and oh, that's very, very nice. Can Fifi be done in the back and forth? It can be done in the back and forth. It can. I don't have it yet because I would like to do that in the rectangle for those who have wanted that first. No one has really asked me for that in the back and forth just yet, but yeah, you can do Fifi in the back and forth and in that cadence too. So it's 2 double crochets, 2 twins in a stitch, and then you've got 1 row of double crochet and then 1 row of windows. That's the repeat. And since it's a free pattern, I can tell you here that's what the repeat is. So it's 2 rows of double crochet, 2 rows of twins in a stitch. So you place 2 double crochets in every other stitch, then 1 row of double crochet in between the stitches, and then a row of windows. Very nice. Yep. Good morning, Myra. Welcome in. And what I like most about the Nano June blanket is it's versatile. So if I want to run 2 yarns together, I can do that with a thicker hook. I like playing with the colors. That's the point of it. If I can introduce another color by bringing in another strand of yarn, I'm going to go ahead and do that because I find it to be a lot of fun, So, and you can also do it in a DK weight yarn if you want. I mean, my favorite DK weight yarn, guys, I have to tell you this. If you don't already know, my favorite DK weight yarn is Line Brand Mandala. I love, love, love this DK weight yarn. I can't get enough of it. It's just so much fun. I've done tons of projects with this yarn, and I have tons of whips on the hooks and needles with this yarn. I love this. This is so much fun. I plan on getting my knitting on today after. I'm curious to know how far I can take this today. I'm super excited. I may have to order fixed needles in a larger size. These are 24 inches long, number 9s. I may need to go to 40 inches next. I'm not sure. But I'm going to start with this and just squeeze it in as much as I can. And I may actually put 2. I don't know how big this is going to take me, but if it's not big like I want it, big-wise, I have a second cake and stash. I only have 2 of these, and this is a discontinued colorway. Well, at Walmart, it's discontinued. But I can order it online if I want. You made Nana June in 2 days with Mandala Baby. I love that. The colors just, it takes you. It's like how many more rows before I go to the next color, and then the next color, and then the next color. It's so nice. Super, super nice. You love Mandala yarn as well. How much does it cost in the USA? So I purchased this for $5.97. Yep, $5.97. It's not that price now. It's like $6, just over $6. And I have some that I got on clearance for $4. So it is very affordable here. I've seen how much some of this actually costs in some of the other countries. It shocks me. how much yarn actually costs in some countries. But for us in the United States, to get ice yarns is a lot of money, where if you're in another country right now, it's more affordable. It's more affordable for you if you don't live here than if when you do. Fortunately for me, I have a whole collection of ice yarns. I love ice yarns so much. I'm an affiliate for ice yarns. But yeah, I encourage you guys to check out ice yarns. They've got so many great yarns there. Very, very nice. Nana June Blessings Blanket, great gifts for holidays. Yes. Mistletoe is a great colorway to run for Nana June's Blessing Blanket. Like I mentioned, it's two stitches of a repeat, two stitches of, two, two, and two. Take one of those pairings of stitches in the round and put in the mistletoe colorway, which is red, green, and white. Variegated red, green, and white. And then choose one for red and choose one for green. It comes out really, really nice. I made one for Camp Boggy Creek already, like that. So yeah, please check that out. It's really nice. Let's see. At the moment, you can get it for $8.40, normally $14 from Spotlight. Wow. I have to remember that, the cost is different from country to country. I look at $8.40 and $14 and think, oh my goodness, that's a lot. But to you guys, that might not be as much as we think it is, So, wow. Yeah, great idea. And then, if you don't celebrate Christmas, let's say you celebrate Hanukkah, well, choose colors that are traditionally known for Hanukkah and run that way, or Kwanzaa, where you have, all of those colors. These are really great ideas for playing with colors for the holidays, or Diwali, if you're in Africa, if you observe that, wherever you observe Diwali at, you can definitely do that. I think it's Celebration of Lights. Super, super nice. You knocked out a corner to corner in a week for once, last minute baby shower, and I had to stop crocheting for a month due to shoulder pain. Oh no. I don't know how people do multiple blankets in a week. I've done 6 blankets in a week. Yep. I think the most I've done was 7 blankets in a week, 1 blanket a day, every day for an entire week. And I actually have had that particular week where I did 7. I had to put bandages, like braces, right here on my arm. I had to put one right here. I had to put one right here. And then I had ice packs on my shoulders and my wrists. And I had to put icy hot all here. It was really, and this is not even the hand I crochet with. This is the opposite hand. I'm a lefty. This side was perfect. Nothing wrong on this side. It was all the opposite side. It tore me up for like a week. I'm like, oh no, I can't, my limit, I cannot do 7 blankets in a week anymore. So I know like what my limit is. The most that I can do without injuring myself is 6 in a week. Yep, 6 blankets in a week is a lot. And yes, for those of you guys, I mean, I'm making donation blankets. That is the charity of my choice this year. And I really have been pumping out these blankets. So far, as of the last podcast episode, I have 62 completed blankets, and my goal is to have 76 completed blankets by the end of December. So I'm almost there. And once I am done, I can really hone in and focus on my projects for the channel like I want to. But I'm super committed in getting these blankets out for the kids. That's kind of why things have been on delay. I'm putting the kids before a lot of my projects. Normally, if you've been around, you kind of know I would normally put out hat tutorial, beanie tutorial, this tutorial, this, I haven't really been putting out much because I really want to get these blankets out for the kids. These are chronically ill children, and they're counting on me and all of the Boggy Creek Blanket Brigade to get these blankets done for Florida. So again, once I hit my goal for this season, I will jump right back on the gravy train and get all of my work out there to you guys. So I'm almost there. I have 62 completed blankets. So let me see, 76. I have 14 blankets to go. I had to think about that. 14 blankets and then I'm done. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I have a handful of blankets ready for this week's podcast. So my ear marker are the podcast episodes that I release on Fridays. So if you're new to the channel, guys, Fridays I release a weekly podcast and it's a recap of the week. And I talk about all of my finished work, things I've got on the hooks and needles, and then I do any acquisitions. I talk about any updates with products or patterns and all of that. And I also do treats. So they're called replay treats. If you watch my podcast episodes, if you're interested in any of my giveaways, I ask that you come in and you leave a comment using the keyword if you're interested in that particular prize, and then the computer picks a winner and I post that in the podcast. I put it right in there. So if you're interested in any of my giveaways, watch the podcasts on Fridays. I encourage you to do that. All right. So I'm very excited about my podcast episodes. I'm excited about all the things, and I think this year, more than any other year, I really placed the focus on my donatables, my blankets, my hats. I've had almost 200 hats sitting in my house, ready for donations. I took them, I split them up between 3 different charities, and I sent those hats out. I still have a bunch that need to go out still, but yeah, this year more than ever, I'm all about charity and things. So yes, thank you, Kim, for the reminder. I appreciate that. And I do like to verbally say that out loud for those of you guys who aren't watching the chat. My giveaways, all of them, anything I give away on my channel, are all subscriber appreciation giveaways. We've had some incidents in the past where people were not subscribed to the channel. They don't watch, they don't support the channel. They have verbally said this to me, that they don't support the channel, but since I'm doing a giveaway, they're going to participate. And I said, you know what? Anything I give away on my channel or going forward will be for those specifically who are subscribed and support the channel, because it's not really fair to those who sit and watch and they participate and they're engaged into my channel. They see something they like that I'm willing to give. It should be for those who spend the time and they watch and they're engaged in my content. So I read the YouTube rules and they were very specific that I have to mention. I have to say that all throughout, not just, at key moments, at all times. All of my giveaways are subscriber appreciation giveaways. So, yes, very important. Yes. Yes, Kim does do a good job, doesn't she? Oh, the mods. Love the mods. Huge hugs to all of you guys. Very, very nice. But yeah, it feels really good to be able to send a gift regardless of where you live, near or far, and that's another thing on my channel. Like I have a preference of person over place. So if you are literally in another continent, if you are subscribed to my channel and you rightfully won one of my prizes, well, then you rightfully should be able to receive them. It may take a little longer to get to you, but you will get it, or you will get a comparable prize that works for both of us. So, ultimately, I would want you to have what it is that I've showcased on the channel. So, if you participate and you've followed all the rules, then you are just as qualified. So, yes, and I keep talking about this because it's the furthest I've ever sent a package ever. So, the furthest I ever sent a package was to South Africa. And I don't know if Robin is in here. She's the person. So I sent her the prize. It took forever to get to her, but I'm so thankful that it made it to her. Like, I was so worried that the package wasn't going to make it. I think a month went by before she actually got it, because it had to go through customs and different countries and all the things to actually get to her. but it finally made it, and I was so happy about that. And I'm like, Robin, I'm so sorry it took forever for your package to get to you, but I'm happy that you have it. You know? And yeah. 1 month is really quick. Yeah, I'm very surprised. And it was media mail, so, it wasn't like a huge parcel box. It was like an envelope. It was actually, I put a book in an envelope. She won a book. And yeah. Anyway, if you're willing to wait the time for it to actually get to you, then you deserve that prize just like the person who lives next door. That's the way I see it. So that is quite, you know what I'm wondering? Oh, hi, Robin. I'm so thankful that that prize got to her. But I wonder if the package looked exactly the same as it did when it left here. Because it's had to have changed many hands along the way. And I'm like, I wonder. Obviously, it got there in one piece, but yeah. Hello, hello from Germany. Hello, hello. Yes, quite an adventure for sure. Wow. Very, very nice. But yeah, so it goes to speak that, that's one thing I pride myself with on my channel. So if you're here, then you're just as deserving. So hopefully, I get more international winners. We have had a handful as of late. I don't like announce, oh, this person's from here, this person's from there. But I do announce Robin's package because she lives literally the furthest away from me than anyone else who watches me on the channel. So it's nowhere. Delaware is up here. South Africa is way over there by the yarn. It's over there, So very happy about that. Oh, thank you, Myra. I appreciate that. So anyway, super happy to get us kicked off on this Monday, right? Okay, so let's just do a quick recap and then we'll wrap up, okay? I have my notes. So the goals for the week, okay? Taco Tuesday is tomorrow. Let's not go into the week with nothing for Taco Tuesday. So even if it's a whip, pick a whip, any whip, have it done by Taco Tuesday. And then we've got the challenges for Taco Tuesday. Again, you guys don't have to participate, but if you are participating, we've got 1 day until the deadline, right? Season 4 kicks off tomorrow. Brand new season, brand new cards. Very excited about it. Fingers crossed it goes without a hitch. And then I'm going to continue with my knit whips for the American Cancer Society. I'm going to showcase those every day. I'm doing shorts. Please check those out if you haven't already. And I have to get on with my blankets. I need to pump out blankets this week and have them done. I need to get these 76 blankets done so I can move on and do all of my tutorials and things. Very excited about that. So that is the plan, Stan, for the week. Anybody have any questions before we wrap up? I want to make sure I give you all that opportunity. Please drop your question if you have anything. Also, too, I do have affiliate links. I don't know if the places that I'm affiliated with are accessible in your country, but if they are, feel free to shop those affiliate links. They do really support the channel. They give me a few cents of every dollar that's spent. It doesn't cost you anything. The company pays me for you using those links. So in the show notes, you will find links on the channel page. You will see I have ice yarns out of Turkey, and then I have Premier Yarns domestically here in the United States. So if you're interested in looking for some yarn, deals and steals and all the things, check the websites out if that is of interest to you. Okay? So that is all from me for now, guys. You guys have a wonderful Monday, and I will catch you guys on the next one. All right? Bye. Take care. Have a great day.